Alright, hello everyone. It's been quite a while since I've done a Thomas video, and while I'm working on another story, I thought it'd be kind of good to go back and do an audio commentary on one of my older stories, because there's quite a fair bit to talk about, in all honesty, about these ones. I'm not going well back, we're not going back to the Thomas Model Adventures era. We're just going to go back and look at some of the earlier Wooden Railway stories I've done, dating back for a couple of years ago. So the best one I thought would be a natural starting place would be Middle Engine. Just before we start, Middle Engine was the first story I did in Wooden Railway. Basically, just a little bit of the concept behind Middle Engine was, I just, like a lot of people, do not like the original Middle Engine story. I just think it's just not a good episode, in all honesty. Like, I could start doing an analysing why I don't like it, but I think probably a lot of people have covered it quite well. But yeah, it's a really jumbled mess of an episode, and I felt there was a way to improve it. So without further ado, let's just start watching, and I will talk as we go. So yeah, we start on Mayfreight, which is one of my favourite sets I've actually made. I really like the Series 5 version of Mayfreight, and this is kind of based on that with a few creative liberties taken. Also enjoyed in the scene, I tried to throw in as many references as I could. As there's a Thomas and Gordon one, I believe there's a Thomas and Bertie one, I believe I put in. But yeah, I just really enjoyed writing this scene. It was originally a lot longer, and I cut it down for time. Also, I want to talk about Craig's narration. I really love his character voices he does, especially Percy, I have to say. Craig's a good friend of mine, and he's not a fan of Thomas, but I really like his voice acting, and he gets so many of the voices spot on. And also, since they've appeared, I might as well talk about the voice he did for Splatter and Dodge, where a lot of you commented that he sounds a lot like Rowley from Bob the Builder, and after listening to it, I honestly see it. Like, he never intended to, and I had this conversation with him. He didn't even know about the Bob the Builder, really. When I came to writing this episode, it was quite apparent that I did not want to use Ari and Bert, as a lot of people said they really don't fit the original Middle Engine, especially based after their last appearance as Stepney Gets Lost. So I felt that Splatter and Dodge felt this role better, as they are more sort of just troublesome diesels that feel like the sort that would just bully and annoy some engines for fun. Also, this scene here is one of the few bits from this story that is basically pulled right out of the original Middle Engine, just with a few tweaks of dialogue and obviously Spatter and Dodge instead of Ari and Bert. I believe this is the only scene that I sort of adapted. The rest of it is all pretty original, and there's not really any scenes that I would compare to the original story, well, the original episode, I should say. And here we are on the yard set. This is not really based on anything. This is just me sort of deciding where I want to put stuff, and it's sometimes quite nice to not be restricted with how you can do a set and just do a random location. I really don't like this Gordon, by the way. I hadn't got a Actually, I had got an older Gordon at this point, but I'd already started filming half this story with this Gordon, with the Hit Era Gordon. So I sort of had to either reshoot the episode or continue using this one. And I just thought of, oh, I might as well continue using this one. And I really do not like that face on this Gordon. I've got to be honest, it's not very nice at all. But I was sort of using what I had at the time, and going forward, I used the older TWR Gordon, I believe, from like 2000 or 2001. Yeah, much better and a much more classic era face, which is what I wanted, since this story is, it's meant to be Series 5-esque. I still find this scene really funny, especially with Craig's narration for Percy sort of frantically trying to alert Gordon, and I've had to include a logical reason to why Percy's crew weren't about. So I thought, oh yeah, they go to talk to Gordon's driver, and the implication is that they were walking to Gordon's cab at the time when Gordon set off. Hence why the driver didn't put the brake on. As you can see, that truck there uses an old Hornby Thomas face that I took off. It's one of the troublesome trucks actually after I stopped filming with 00. Also, these tracking shots that you're seeing now, I'm really proud of them, and I think this was the first time I really sort of started doing them, because I just had the camera next to it, and I had one hand pulling the trains along, the other one on the camera, and just move them at the same time, and I honestly don't think they look too bad. This set right here, I actually had help when filming this. My good friend Will helped me on this. Will, that used to be Northwestern 04, helped me film this. He also helped me film James's Forest and Lost Engine on this set as well. He came round for the day and helped me film some of these scenes. If a train moves on in any of these shots, he was probably the one operating it. Yeah, I filmed this in a different room, as you can see, because the lighting doesn't match the rest of my filming area. It's a bit bright, so I never really filmed in that room again. It was actually in the lounge, because my room at that time was too tight to be able to get someone else in, so I filmed it down there. But yeah, as you can see, it's the light is coming through quite a lot on the characters. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the bridge in the background, I believe I broke quite soon after filming this, and I lost some of the poles to fully build it. Also, that signal shot is of a real signal at West Grinstead Station, which West Grinstead Station's basically an abandoned station. Used to be on the Stenning line, I believe, and there's a signal at this abandoned station basically that you can still operate. And Will and I went there on the same day that we did the Elsbridge scenes, and Will's the one operating the signal, and that was a really good day. As you can see, this ending scene's just at a random shed, because by this point I didn't have the sheds that my good mate Spencer, well, SB Tracktails, you may know him for, hadn't got the sheds yet at this point, because I got them, I want to say in 2024, yes, gave them to me at Audrey 4, so I hadn't got them yet, so I had to sort of make do with just a little shed instead of using Tinmouth, which I would have preferred to, but yeah, I didn't have that yet. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, or the credits are rolling. I can't think of anything more to say about this story. It was a fun one to do. I'm still shocked, absolutely shocked by how well it did. I believe the video is currently on 32,000 views, which I'm still blown away by, because I remember at the time when it initially came out, within the first few days no one was really watching it. It was just sort of average for me. I was like, okay, that's all fine. And then I looked at the video the next day, and it gone up by hundreds of views, and I'm like, whoa. And I expected it to sort of just stop at the 1,000 mark, but then it just kept going and going and going, and I think it got to 30,000 within a couple of months, and I'm just still blown away that you guys like this story so much. And it was really the thing that got me back into making Thomas stories, because I sort of went, oh, I'll do this as a one-off alongside Lost Engine, which by the way is still happening, but yeah, and it just blew up, and it really made me want to do more, and this really was what started that initial run of all those stories. Yeah, no, I just can't. I've probably said thank you so many times, but thank you so much for everyone who's watched this story. Well, I think I'll bring this video to an end. If you like these audio commentaries, I will continue and do some of the others. There's some I will want to cover more than others. Terence Moves On is a definite. There's a lot to say about that one. Some of the others, we'll see. If you guys want them, I'll do it. Well, anyway, have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.